Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs Glass, and as you know here on the channel, I have done a ton of Android customization in the past, and just in general phone customization. So it could be icon packs, it could be wallpapers. So in today's video, let's talk about it. So if you haven't already seen, MKBHD put up their latest video on the iPhone 16 and 16 Pro, and in the start of that video he announced a brand new application that he has made, which is called Panels, and this is basically a ton of curated wallpapers in an application available for both iOS and Android. And as someone that is a fan of MKBHD and also phone customization, I was pretty excited. Like he mentioned in the video, a ton of people always ask where he gets his wallpapers from. Well, now you know, and you can download them for yourself. However, if you look into the comments section of that YouTube video or over to Twitter, you'll see that a ton of people aren't best pleased with the actual Panels application itself. And the main reason is the pricing side of things and just in general the way the application is set up compared to some other customization apps out there. So I've got the application all lined up here, and we're just going to have a quick look through it to see exactly what is going on. So as you can see here, when you first get into the application, you've got your For You page, which has all your suggested, liked, and also the library in regards to applications that you've downloaded or ones that you've used in the past. You've then got the Explore page, which basically just gives you a bunch of random wallpapers that the application thinks that you may be into. And taking a quick look through some of these wallpapers, they are pretty nice and they do look very high quality. Lucid is one that I've seen on the channel a ton, and again you can see here exactly how it looks and you can get it for yourselves. You've got an SD version at 1080 by 1920 or a full resolution at 4320 by 7680, so super high res. And you can also see in the top right hand corner as seen on MKBHD. So if you click on Get Wallpaper, you can start to see where the problem first comes into it. So you can watch one ad, which has actually changed when the application was released a couple of days ago. It used to be watch 2 ads to download the SD version. So you can't actually get any wallpaper in this application technically free, you have to do something in return, in this case watching an advertisement. Or you've got the option to unlock the full resolution, and like I mentioned, it is super high res, so that's what I think the majority of people would do. So if we have a look at the full resolution side of things, you can see here that you have to subscribe or get Panels Plus. And you can see here what it offers. There's no ads, you get full resolution, early access to new wallpapers, so you also gatekeep some of the newer wallpapers if you pay compared to if you don't pay, which is a little bit of a juxtaposition because I think in MKBHD's newest video about the iPhone, he's also mentioned the fact that this year's iPhone has kind of come out unfinished. There's tons of features coming down the road, and he's always said don't buy into tech that isn't necessarily done, or don't buy into future tech, and with this you're paying for something that may or may not come in the future. And then you can see you also have all collections being unlocked as well. So if we just head back really quickly, you can see here one of the collections that I'm speaking about. So this is 5 wallpapers from one particular artist, and you can get one collection for £5.99 or around £6 here in the UK. Or if you get the Plus version of the application, you get them all included kind of in that price. So going back to the payment side of things here, and this is where a ton of people aren't necessarily best pleased. You can see here that an annual content unlock is $34.99. So to get all of these wallpapers that may or may not be AI generated, some of them, don't get me wrong, they do come from well-known artists, and they are very nice, very high quality, but not necessarily something that you can't find elsewhere, whether it's on Google search or another wallpaper application. And again, just under £35 or around $50 in the US for these wallpapers is just way too much. Or you've got the option of going monthly for around $11.99, which, fun fact, is pretty much the same price or more expensive than Netflix and Spotify here in the UK. And in my opinion, this application just doesn't offer enough content to justify that price tag. But for me, the main reason that I'm not a huge fan of why I won't be using this application is just because nothing is available for free in terms of the high quality side of things. It would be good if some of the wallpapers that were a full resolution were available free of charge. You could just download them and use them, no problem at all, but everything has an ad to it. So again, if I just go to another random wallpaper down here, for example, like this one here of this cityscape, and then again, get wallpaper, full resolution, you have to pay, or one ad to get the SD version. So again, it's just not the best model in terms of a wallpaper application. And that for me is where my favourite wallpaper application, Backdrops, comes into play. Now a ton of you guys always ask me what wallpaper I'm using in a video, and pretty much 99.9% of the time it comes from this application. And as you can see here, you can scroll through, you can click on a wallpaper, you can see the resolution size, you can download it free of charge, or there is a paid version which is Backdrops Pro, so you've kind of got the option of doing either or. You don't have to pay, you don't have to watch an advertisement, you can go into the app, download a wallpaper, and you're ready to go, no issues at all. And don't get me wrong, this is quickly made the Panels application one of the best free applications to download. It's currently number 26 on the leaderboard here in the UK. However, another thing that a lot of people aren't necessarily happy with the application is the tracking side of things and the information that it needs to know just to download a picture. Now, the great thing about the App Store is if you head down to the bottom of the actual application side of things, you've got the app privacy, and then you can click here, which is data used to track you and data linked to you. So if you click into one of these, it kind of gives you an idea of what the application may or may not or want access to. And some of it just is a little bit unnecessary in my opinion. I don't see why it needs to have access to my location, for example, just to download a wallpaper, or search history, or contact info, or any of these things that I don't necessarily, I think, are needed for an application like this. At the end of the day, like I mentioned, it's basically just a collection of pictures, wallpapers, JPEGs, and you can just download them from pretty much anywhere. Now, I'm not going to link to any of this in the description below, but some people have also found that they're basically just available for free. If you know how to get access to them, you can do so. So again, the paywall is just there for the purpose of the payment, not really to get anything special. Now, I know that some applications do that as well, but this one just doesn't seem right. Coming from someone like MKBHD, where it's all about the honesty and the truth side of things when it comes to technology, I think that this application is kind of a bit of a miss. He's kind of missed the mark here. Now, Marquez has been pretty open already on Twitter with regards to some of the feedback and backlash from the application, and he has said that he is going to be looking at doing some changes and sorting some things moving forward. So of course we'll see how it looks again at moving forward down the line with the Panels Wallpaper app. But again, it's just another one of those things that's available day one that maybe isn't going to be ready for a couple of months, if not half a year or so, when everything gets put into place where it needs to be. They look at the pricing side of things, they look at the artists that they've got on board and the way that they can monetize it, and then it will become the application that I think it should be now. And don't get me wrong, I think it's great if you are an independent artist, you can get onto this application and you can get paid from it, but you're only getting around 50%. Now, don't get me wrong, Apple, they charge around 30% to go onto the App Store, but MKBHD and his team are taking half of the revenue for basically just hosting the picture itself. They haven't necessarily come out of any of the application or the art side of things. I don't know actually if the app has been made in-house or anything like that, and apologies if it has, but again, it's more of a place to store them. Now, don't get me wrong, some of the artists available on Panels do work with MKBHD directly and are a part of the studio team, but some of these other artists that aren't part of it at all are only getting 50% of the revenue, which again, if people aren't going to be paying for the application or aren't willing to pay this much money for it, they're not really going to be getting too much here. Now, I don't really go into the drama side of things here on YouTube, but I think with MKBHD being so far up there in terms of game for the tech side of things, and also a lot of people taking into account his opinion, just look at what happened with the human AI pin, then I think that this is kind of something that isn't necessarily the best way forward. I think if they went back and looked at the model and maybe redone a couple of things, it may be a really great way to showcase some of the artwork or some of the wallpapers that are available in their videos, but this one I just don't think is it. But of course, as always, with everything here on the channel, let me know in the comment section down below. Are you going to download the application? Are you going to pay anything towards it? And if so, what are the reasons for doing so? Is it to support the artist, to support MKBHD directly? Let me know in the comments section down below. If you guys aren't already subscribed, now's a great time to do so. This is a little bit of a sidetrack from some of the iOS 18 and iPhone 16 and some of the case videos that I've got coming out more recently. So again, if you want to see that sort of stuff, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm Michael from Copper vs Glass. Thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.